Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us here today on behalf of Andy Weiss, the personal representative for the Henry Weiss estate. We want to thank you for your bidding cooperation in advance as we come to you live virtually from our offices here on Main Street in New Harmony. It's important to note that the bidding will continue for this opportunity if for some reason the live stream does not. So you can continue to bid throughout the course of bidding as we close out this auction. We just wanted to come to you live to tell you more about this farm because we think it's an excellent buying opportunity here today. Of course, located only 1.5 miles north of Indiana State Road 66, the property has frontage along Vienna Road, one of the most picturesque areas of Posey County, and is uniquely located for good access from Posey or Vanderburgh County. 55.75 acres in total with over 54 tillable acres. A really good opportunity here today. And we'll talk more about the farm here in just a second. Of course, we'll be offering it in 2 tracks and combined as you've seen the bidding take shape here today. But we'll talk first about the points of interest in purchasing the real estate. Of course, as we've advertised on possession, the buyer will receive possession to the property subject to the farm tenant's rights for up to a 5-year lease on the cropland, which we'll be attaching to the purchase agreement here today. We've talked to many of you about that lease as well. On a 1/3, 2/3 basis with the crop tenant. The real estate taxes will be responsibility of the buyer beginning May 2023 and all those thereafter. The taxes on the tillable acreage wind up being about $25 per acre. We will provide you with an up-to-date title commitment showing good and marketable title, as well as a warranty deed conveying title to you at closing. Any closing fee, which is a standard fee charged by the title company, will be shared 50-50 between the seller and the buyer. The seller will pay for the title search and deed preparation. The buyer will pay for your own title insurance. As we've advertised, folks, the real estate is being sold subject to the approval of the seller and court approval. We'll be speaking with the seller following the conclusion of the auction. We will have an answer for you here today. The successful bidder will be required to sign a standard form real estate purchase agreement. It points out in written form what I'm going over with you orally. If you want to inspect it prior to bidding, please feel free. We will be sending the purchase agreement for electronic signature following the conclusion of the auction. As we've advertised, there will be a 10% down payment required today from the successful bidder with a balance due at closing. The down payment may be in the form of cash, cashier's check, personal check, or corporate check. We can also arrange a wire transfer and send those wire transfer instructions to you. In addition to the high bid, there will be a 5% buyer's premium added to the high bid to determine the contract sales price. Please factor that in. You all should have made your financial arrangements before you bid today. And if you are the high bidder and for whatever reason cannot fulfill your contractual obligations to close on the real estate, you will forfeit the deposit that you're making here today. Again, the deposit is non-refundable, and the agreement is not contingent upon any special financing. General announcements concerning the sale, folks. Items of personal property, there are none included. The easements that are affecting the title, just standard utility easements to access tract 2, the tower that's on the southwest corner of the property, and the oil wells. Utilities, of course, as we talked to many of you about, are accessible to the property. The property has been surveyed recently. Many of you have seen, of course, that the stakes have been set. But if for some reason a survey is deemed necessary to establish a new legal description, then the cost of the survey will be shared 50-50 between the seller and the buyer. Any combination purchases will receive a perimeter survey only. The surveyor will be determined by the seller. Folks, as we've advertised, the seller will convey all the minerals owned. And our method of sale today, the bidding will remain open until the close of the auction as determined by the auctioneer. The minimum bid increments are at the discretion of the auctioneer. Please keep in mind that the purchase agreement you will be signing immediately following the close of the auction will be drawn up based upon the manner in which you bid. For example, if you are the successful bidder on a combination of tracts 1 and 2, the purchase agreement will be drawn up based upon this combination bid. Don't come to us following the conclusion of the auction and say you want tract 1 deeded to your son and tract 2 deeded to you. You will be closing on the tract or combinations on which you are the successful bidder in the manner in which you bid today at the auction. The special announcements concerning the sale, folks, are the standard disclaimer and absence of warranty that we recite at all of our real estate auctions. All information contained in the advertising and all related materials are subject to the terms and conditions outlined in the purchase agreement. The property is being sold as is, where is, and no warranty or representation, either expressed or implied, concerning the property is made by the seller or William Wilson Auction Realty Incorporated, including, but without limitations, for particular use, physical condition, any specific zoning classification, title, location of utilities, assurance of building permits, driveway permits, or water and septic permits. All sketches and dimensions are approximate. Each potential bidder is responsible for conducting his or her own independent inspections, investigations, inquiries, and due diligence concerning the property. Once again, folks, you're buying the real estate as is. I've had a chance to talk to many of you about the farm, answer questions as we've led up to this date, but it is an as-is sale today. As far as the virtual auction instructions are concerned, as I've advertised, the bidding will continue whether the live stream does or not, folks. As more of our sellers and buyers request the online delivery method, we are bringing you this virtual opportunity to bid on this outstanding Posey County property. You still bid your price on your schedule. With the virtual bidding, you can still send us a private message from the platform. So there's a private message just between you and the auctioneer. Or you can call us at 812-682-4000. Some important online bidding instructions to keep in mind, folks, on auction end times. The online auctions are timed events and all bidding will close at the specified time. However, our auctions also have what is called an auto extend feature. Any bid placed within the final 5 minutes of the auction results in the auction automatically extending to 5 minutes. This will continue as the bids continue to come in at the conclusion of the auction. Therefore, the auction will not close until all bidding parties are satisfied and no one can be outbid at the last second without having another opportunity to put a bid again, which is similar, of course, to how we close out our live land auctions if you've attended those in the past. In the event there are technical difficulties related to the server, software, internet, or any other online auction-related technologies, the auction company reserves the right to extend bidding, continue bidding, or close the bidding. Neither the company providing the software nor the auction company shall be held responsible for a missed bid or the failure of the software to function properly for any reason. The minimum bidding increase will be indicated on the bidding application. You can bid more than that, and I think some of the bidders are starting to see that as we move through this. You can bid more than the increment that it shows on there, but the minimum bid increment is at the discretion of the auction company. Your bid on the auction does indicate your acceptance of and the understanding of and acceptance of the terms of this contractual agreement between yourself and the auction company, and that you as the bidder are prepared to purchase the property under the terms and conditions of this auction. So as you can see here, we're coming up on the 5-minute mark. You'll start to see that first clock refresh. The bidding is currently at $370,000. One bidder is controlling both tracts. One bidder is controlling both tracts on the auction here today so far. And you'll start to see that again once we get to that 5-minute mark is when the clocks will start to refresh, and you'll have plenty of time to make that bid and to make your decision to bid. So talking about the farm, folks, again, Vienna Road, one of the most picturesque areas of the county, just a beautiful countryside with lots of road frontage, of course, on the corner. Rolling topography. The farm has good drainage. You've got 54 tillable acres combined here on the tract today, 55.75 in total, with good road frontage and access. Picturesque building sites, good quality farmland, good soils in here on this property today, productive and tillable cropland. And we're offering it today in 2 tracts and combined, so you can bid on individual tracts or the combination. Currently, there is $5,000 separation between first and second place. So we're at $370,000, one bidder controlling the board, and then the backup bidders are only $5,000 behind. So those 2 bidders together would have to increase their bid more than $5,000 to put themselves in a winning position. Of course, early on in the auction like this, folks, it is to your advantage to bid more than the increment as the auction moves along. So we just hit the 5-minute mark. We'll watch to see as the bids come in through here if the first clock refresh. But we're at $370,000 now for all 55 acres. Just refresh once again. So the bid came in $96,000 on track number 2. So that was a $1,000 advance between first and second place. And $375 then. The bidder came in at $375 on the combined tracts of 1 and 2. The bid will continue. As you see now, you've got some experience now. We're 26 bids in, but the bidding will continue in that manner, the clock refreshing to 5 minutes as the bids come in. So tracks 1 and 2 is held by one bidder at $375,000. and then the backup bids are $96,000 and $275,000 respectively. $375,000 bid, coming up on the 4-minute mark. Watch to see how the next bids come in, folks. We're at $375,000 bid collectively on the screen. Farm has been in the Weiss family for a long time, folks. A good opportunity to buy here today. The clock just refreshed again. We have a $102,000 bid came in on tract number 2. Good opportunity to buy here today. 2 tracts of farmland with good location, easy access to transport to grain terminals, as we like to say, to get your grain to market. Obviously, quality building sites as well, picturesque rolling topography, a nice opportunity if you're looking for a buying opportunity today. So the tracts 1 and 2 then just went up to $385,000 for the combined bid. So then you can do that math, of course, 275 plus 102. $377,000, so there's an $8,000 separation between first and second place. So the backup bidders that are bidding on tracks 1 and 2 individually, those bids would need to raise up another another $12,000. So there's $12,000 between first and second place. $390,000 bid collectively on the screen. That's a little over $7,000 per acre on the board. Good quality buying opportunity here today on some tillable acreage in Posey County, folks. A good quality farm with good road frontage, access to utilities as well. Definitely room for making this, as you would buy this farm, make this investment today to improve the fertility of the tract and make it even a better farm. $390,000 bid, 1 bidder controlling the board. You can see right there on your screen. We appreciate you logging on, and you can see how the bidding application is working now, and the bidding continues to refresh as bids come in. Today here we're at the little under the 4-minute mark on this particular clock. Again, similar to how we close out our normal live land auctions as well. Once again, folks, you can send us a private message on the application just between you and the auctioneer if you have a question. You can also call 812-682-4000 if you have any difficulty with the bidding application, but this has worked really well for our buyers and sellers in recent auction events. We're coming up on the 3-minute mark now. $390,000 bid, 1 bidder controlling the board. Buyers definitely control the cadence here now. They'll tell us when they want to bid. The clock will continue to refresh to the 5-minute mark, giving you plenty of chance to make your bids here today on the Weiss Farm in Posey County. Just 12 miles from downtown Evansville, of course. Good access to roads to get out to get your grain to market, folks. 1 bidder controlling the board now. 1 bidder controlling the board at $390,000. Coming up on the 2-minute mark now. As the clocks continue to refresh, once that bid comes in, it will refresh to 5 minutes. You can bid the increment, or you can bid above the increment as well. $7,000 per acre on the screen, for sure. A buying opportunity here today in Posey County. Folks, a good quality farm with tillable acreage. You don't want to wait till the last minute. That's right. The bidding did refresh because a bid came in on one of the individual tracks that did not put them in a winning position. But the clock did refresh. Now we went up to $395. 1 bidder still controlling tracks 1 and 2. Tracks 1 and 2 still at $395,000. A little over $7,000 per acre once again on the board. If one of the backup bidders does raise their bid, it does refresh the clock. And that gives the other bidder a chance to then raise their bid and put them both in a winning position. You can do the math there and figure out that we are just $5,000 separation between first and second place at this point. $5,000 separation between first and second place, so those backup bidders. All you have to do is raise above $5,000 to put yourself in a winning position. Currently, one bidder controlling the board at $395,000. You add those two together of the backup bids, that's $390,000. So that's $5,000 separation between first and second place. Those bidders can put those bids in, and you'll both be in a winning position at that point. As you look at the farm, folks, again, you think about location just a mile and a half north of the main road, but you can get to Posey County, to St. Wendell, into Vandenberg County on Vienna Road. But it's located in an area that is quiet. You're in the country, so for those that are looking for home sites, definitely an opportunity for that here today. You see the estate-like properties certainly through there, the farmhouses. Alike, a really pretty area to build that dream home on these tracks and have a hobby farm potentially. You could have plenty of tillable acreage as well, similar to how they've operated this in the past, of course, with the home site and everything that's up here. But you have an opportunity today to buy good quality tillable acreage with good road frontage and good location. So you can't go wrong. We're a little over now at $400,000. The two individual bids are now in a winning position. Tract 1 at $290,000, Tract 1 at $290,000, and Tract 2 at $115,000. So that's $405,000 bid collectively. $10,000 separation between first and second place. $10,000 separates first and second place, so that those buyers looking to acquire the entire farm today, all you have to do is bid more than the $405,000. That will put you in a winning position. We're at 33 bids in total. Moving along here, coming up on just a few minutes after 12 o'clock noon here as the bidding starts to close out. Once again, we just want to tell you more about this farm because we think it's an excellent buying opportunity here today. It is becoming more rare to find these farmsteads, and they are sort of a sacred piece of land in this area for sure. You want to jump on these opportunities when you have it. We're at Vienna Road right now, just west of the Vandenberg County line, of course, and $405,000. Two bidders controlling the board at $405,000. That shows you we're a little over $7,300 per acre on Tract 1, the big 40-acre tract, and we're a little over $7,000 per acre on Tract 2 as well. We'll watch to see how the bids come in, folks. We're coming up on the 3-minute mark now, 3 minutes on this particular clock. Once again, that clock will continue to refresh, giving you plenty of opportunity to make your decisions to bid and to raise that bid. If you've had a chance to take a look at the video here and see this farm, you've got an oil well on there that provides a little extra income as well. So there's multiple income streams on this farm. You've got access to utilities, and you can't hardly go wrong buying land, of course, of this caliber in Posey County at this kind of a location. We've talked about that a lot, but this is definitely anytime you buy land on a corner, it's definitely a connector piece and a good opportunity to buy. So we're a little under the 3-minute mark now, 2 minutes and 43 seconds. On this particular clock, we're at $405,000 in total. Picturesque area of Posey County with good road frontage, solid, well-paved roads, a good mix of how they farm this with the good drainage, the ditch that runs through, and an opportunity certainly to make that improvement. Bid just dumped another $10,000 to $415,000. One bidder controlling the board now. $415,000 bid on all 55.75 acres. One bidder controlling the board. Once again, folks, we just wanted to have the live stream, give you a chance to tell you a little bit more about why we think this is a good buying opportunity today. You're clearly indicating that on the competitive bidding. Several bidders here actively participating. We have over 17 registered bidders for the auction, and we appreciate you joining us here on this moist Posey County day. It's raining here in Posey County. We're coming up on the 4-minute mark now. One bidder controlling the board at $415,000. That's a little over $7,400 per acre on the screen. We'll see who's going to make that next move, folks, as we come up on the 3-minute mark. $415,000. There's one bidder controlling the board. Tell us who wants to make that next move. The backup bidders. We did refresh, so that went to, there is a tie bid, so this is something that does come up, folks. If you do have to bid, the first bid in, it becomes the lead bid. So just like in our live auctions, we cannot honor a tie bid, so those backup bidders now, you'll need to raise that bid above the 415 to put yourself in a winning position. The tie bid does not work. The first bid in, which was the combination of the 1-2, at $415,000 takes the precedent, and they are the lead bidder at the moment at $415,000. So those backup bidders that are bidding on 1 and 2, you'll have to raise your bid up to put yourself in a winning position. Hobart can send that message out too and let them know. Joining us behind the screen, as always, we've got Hobart Scales, Ben Smith, and Liz Bays here to assist folks. They are putting together the work on bringing you to this live stream today, and I just get the chance to talk to you about it. $415,000, one bidder controlling the board. We'll see who wants to make that next move. Backup bidders, you are out. You'll need to raise your bid to put yourself in a winning position. Coming up on the 3-minute mark on this clock, once again, one bidder is controlling the entire 55.75 acres at $415,000. Backup bidders, you do need to raise that bid if you want to put yourself in a winning position. We'll see when the next bid comes in, folks. We're under the 3-minute mark now. We appreciate your diligence on behalf of the ownership, folks. We will be moving forward on this one. We're 2 minutes. There we go. There the bid came in. There's the $1,000 raise. So now you can see that puts them in a winning position. Now the individual tract bidders are in a winning position on the farm. Clock did refresh. So now it's the opportunity of the combination bidder to put that bid in as well. We're coming up on 4.5 minutes on this particular clock. You don't want to wait till the last minute necessarily, folks. This is, we move the auction along. You can bid above the increment as well. That'll put you in a winning position and continue to move the auction along. We're at $416,000 now bid collectively on the screen. Once again, offering the Weiss estate here. Been in the family a long time. We are privileged to offer the farm, 54 tillable acres, picturesque area of Posey County, just west of Vanderburgh County. A good opportunity to buy today. A new bid just came in as well on track number 2 at $120,000, so that puts us up to $420,000 bid. Track 2, let's talk about that. And when you look at the video, and many of you have been out there, and when you get up on that hill and look out, just a beautiful scene. You can imagine the sunrise and sunset from that location. As you look out over that, there's a nice knoll that you can, if you're looking to build that dream house for sure on track 2, a quality opportunity at 16 acres, got some privacy off the road with access via the easement off of Vienna Road. But we're at $420,000 now, 2 bidders controlling the screen. That's a little over $7,500 per acre on the board. We'll see when the next bid comes in, folks. We're at the 4-minute mark. $420,000 bid on both tracks to individual track bidders controlling the board. We do have the property surveyed, folks. We can provide you with up-to-date title commitments, and you would be in the driver's seat on when you close then. Right now, track number 1 at $300,000 for 40 acres on a corner, $7,500 per acre on the board there. And then track 2, a little over 16.13, I think, surveyed acres, $120,000 bid on that tract. Live stream is optional, folks. We're glad to have you joining us here on behalf of the Weiss family and our company. You can watch it. It's an optional thing if you want to watch. We're at 37 bids in total at this point, so we appreciate your diligence. $420,000, 2 bidders controlling the board. We'll watch to see when that next bid comes in. We're at $420,000. Coming up on the 2.5-minute mark, folks. You want to get those bids in. Don't wait to the last minute, we like to say, of course. Just $5,000 separation between first and second place. Watching and waiting. There we go. For $430,000 now. That was a $10,000 raise over the second place bidders. So the individual bids on tracks 1 and track 2, you collectively now can work together as well, and both come up with more than $10,000. If you each want to raise it up $7,500, you can do that, and that will put you both back in a winning position. Individual track bidders, you can work together if you're looking to make the buy today. If you want to put your best bid out there, you can do that as well. But we are at $430,000 in one bidder controlling all 55.75 acres here today. Under the 4-minute mark now. Once again, if you have questions as you're going through this, 38 bids in total, you can make a phone call if you need any assistance during the process, or you can send a private message that's only between you and the auctioneer, and someone will be glad to assist you. For you home site buyers, maybe those individual tract bidders are looking to put a home site on track 2. Beautiful area to build a home. Privacy just off the road, and easy access to get out to Indiana State Road 66, of course, just a 1.5 miles away. Paved roads, easy to get up and down, and just 12 miles from downtown Evansville. So that I know you're factoring that into your decisions here today. But right now, one bidder is controlling all 55 acres at $430,000. We're under the 3-minute mark on this particular clock. Those backup bidders, once again, there we go. We just had the raise, and that gave us a $1,000 separation over the previous bid. Tract 1 went to $311,000. It's carrying the way at this point, tract 1 at $7,800 per acre on the board. And then track 2 at $7,300 per acre on the board for a total of $431,000. Once again, 16 people participating, several people probably watching online here as we close out this auction. We appreciate you tuning in on behalf of the Weiss family, and as we offer this farm here today. It's been a long time since this farm's been on the market, of course. $315,000 on tract 1. That's another raise on tract number 1. 39.5 acres on a corner. How could you go wrong? And of course, in Posey County, folks with good good silts, good drainage, an opportunity to continue to improve the productivity of that tract. We're at $435,000 bid. Two bidders controlling the board. $436,000 bid now on the 1-2. New bidder came in. New bidder came in on the combination 1-2. A little over 15 minutes since we started closing this one out, and we appreciate you tuning in once again on behalf of the ownership. We want to give you every opportunity to make your decision today as we close out this auction, and you make the opportunity to potentially buy this farm here today. 4 minutes coming up on this clock. Backup bidders, you're just a $1,000 separation, right? Just $1,000 separating between first and second place. So those backup bidders, once again, you can work together, raise it above the increment if you'd like to put yourself in a better competitive position as we close this one out under the 4-minute mark on this combination on this particular clock with 41 bids in total. You're seeing all this as I am on your screen as well at the same time. So we did have a refresh now, 437,000. A bid came in on tract number 1. $437,000. Two bidders controlling the board. Backup bid is the combination bid at $436,000. We'll wait to see how the next bid comes in. We're at 437,000. Two bidders now. As you can see, controlling the board. Just a $1,000 separation between first and second place. Can certainly understand why there's interest in tract number 1 by itself, a 40-acre tract on a corner, solid surface roads. Folks, only going to continue to grow in value as the market has proven in this area, especially in Posey County and western Vanderburgh County. 42 bids in total, 437,000. A little under 3 minutes on this particular clock. We're at 437,000. Now we went to 450,000. $13,000 raise. $13,000 raise over the previous bids. I'm going to take a short recess on the live stream right now, folks. I'll be right back with you. Just a short recess. Once again, we'll be right back with you. You can continue to bid as we close out this auction. We'll be right back. All right, back online here, folks. We appreciate your patience and your diligence on behalf of the Weiss family. Andy Weiss, the personal representative. The bid's currently at $485,000 with one bidder controlling the board, and we're a little under the 3-minute mark on this current clock. The bidding continues to be active, giving you plenty of chance to make those decisions here today. We'll see who wants to make that next move. A good quality buying opportunity, as we've said, with a great location, just a mile and a half of Highway 66. Good road frontage, good opportunity to improve the productivity of this farm and own it long term, folks. As the saying goes, in this part of the country, especially where this is located, they're just not making any more of it, and there's very rare that a farm like this does come available to buy. So today's the day. We're a little bit close to 2-minute mark. One bidder controlling the board, 50 bids in. Let's see who's going to make that next move as we continue to close out this auction. We're now below the 2-minute mark, folks. You don't want to wait the last minute here. So there's $20,000 separation between first and second place. $20,000, $465 on the individual bids, and $485 on the combination bid. Still lots of room for growth on these tracks, as given the current market, folks. You can't hardly go wrong. I did have a chance to talk with our seller during the break, folks. We are a confirmed sale at this point. We will be signing purchase agreements here today. We then just have to send it down for the formal court approval because it's a supervised estate. We've already met their requirements. So we do have a confirmed sale, folks. Bid without reservation. We will be signing purchase agreements here today. We're coming up on 1 minute remaining. One bidder controlling the board at $485,000. Let's see what happens here next. 50 bids in. You don't want to wait to the last minute, folks. $20,000 separation between first and second place. We're under the 1 minute mark. I'm going to give you every opportunity to make your decisions today, but if you're done, then we are done as well, folks. The bidding application will control that process as we come down to the 40-second mark here now. You tell us if you're going to make another move here. 30 seconds. Will there be another bid coming in here in the last final seconds of the auction, folks? Once again, on behalf of the Weiss family, bid came in. That's probably not right. We'll probably need to check with that bidder real quick here because he put that bid on tract 1. He probably was planning to put it in on the 1-2. Checking with the bidder real quick, folks, as that bid came in, it looked like it appeared to need to be put in on the entirety. We were at $485 and the $495 jump on tract number 1. We'll be right back with you here shortly. They're going to be working on that. We got to get comfort. Yeah. We are going to make that correction, folks. That bid should have been placed on the 1-2 combination at $495,000. So they are going to make that correction. We'll make that correction here right now. The bid was withdrawn, and then that bid should come in on the entirety at $495,000. We are going to let the bidder put that bid in, folks. That we're at $485,000 for the entirety, and that bid should come in then on the entirety. As again, that was a $160,000 raise on tract number 1, and that certainly didn't pass the smell test. We'll have someone have the bidder then place that bid on the entirety as they intended, and then we'll be back moving along with the auction once again, folks. Backup bidders, you are $20,000 apart from first and second place. You need to raise your bids up 20,000, or the bid needs to come in on the entirety at 495,000. Once again, if the backup bidders do place the bid, folks, if the backup bidders do want to raise your bid, if you came to spend a certain amount of money on the track that you're looking at, that will again refresh the clock, giving the other backup bidder a chance to raise their bid as well to put you both in a winning position. We're at a little over 3 minutes remaining here on this particular clock. We'll see who's going to make that next move once again. There, that bid did come in as we anticipated, folks. The bidder did place the bid at 495,000. 495,000. Two-way race at this point between two bidders wanting to buy the entire farm today. It totally makes sense for 54 acres in a good location. Definitely long-term opportunity for this farm. You've got a lease in place already, and you can start to improve the investment and get what your return that you're looking for. As you've seen recently, folks, the farmland markets in this area, 3 to 5% is what you could bank on, but we've been at 15, 20, and 30% appreciation year over year. So as you're making your decision here today, folks, you can't go wrong for sure investing in Posey County farmland. We are at 51 bids currently. One bidder is controlling the board on all 55 acres, tracks 1 and 2 at 495,000. We are sub 4 minutes at this point. Once again, it is a confirmed sale today. We will be signing purchase agreements as we anticipated, and we'll be moving forward to a closing shortly thereafter. We do have title commitments ready. The property has been surveyed. Everything is ready for you to buy this farm here today, and you are in the driver's seat on when you would want to close on it and start to do the things that you like to do to improve the investment that you're making here today. A good quality buying opportunity. Once again, we're at just a little less than 500,000 on the board. That equates to, of course, over $9,000. We're over $9,000 on the board. We're at 510,000. $510,000. Still one bidder controlling the board. Once again, I think the buyers have clearly learned this system and appreciate the opportunity to buy farms this way. You can't, and they are increasing their bids above the increment. And so at this stage, above 500,000, our increment does become $5,000 per bid at this stage. And it'll show you that on the application as well. So you do have to bid in the $5,000 increments at above 500,000, which again is customary with our live auctions as we've conducted in the past. By virtue of being involved in this auction today, we appreciate you logging on and participating and watching along as we sell this farm. You will be subscribed and can be subscribed to our upcoming land auctions as well to stay informed about everything we have coming up in the land space. A lot of activity right now, so you'll be on our email list, but you can also join our social media platforms. You can also click on wilsonsellsfarmland.com. Which is a resource of our recent land sales, over 60,000 acres that we've sold in the last 6 years, and see what things have been selling for in the region. So wilsonsellsfarmland.com, definitely a resource that you can check out for other sales that have happened in the area. So we are a little under 3 minutes, 510,000, one bidder controlling the board. As you see what farmland is bringing in this area of the country, folks, still room for growth. And on the board here, we're over $9,000 per acre on the board, as you can see. But it's only going to continue to increase in value over the years, as we've seen. It's a proven investment, proven return, and you certainly shouldn't be hesitant about continuing to raise the bid on this tract today. We're at $510,000. As you make your final decisions here, once again, we're a little over 40 minutes into the closing out of this auction, and we want to give you every opportunity to make your decisions here today. We do have a confirmed sale, and so we will be signing purchase agreements here today. We're at sub 2 minutes. You don't want to wait till that last minute to get those bids in, folks. Once again, if you're contemplating a bid right now, it's the time to put it in. That'll refresh the clock and give everybody a chance to make their decisions. $510,000, one bidder controlling the board. We'll see who's going to make that next move. Once again, you don't want to wait to the last minute, folks. Get those bids in now. $510,000. Certainly cases every day of the week of land in this area bringing $10,000 per acre. This does come with a lease. It's part of the family arrangement, of course, and so that's definitely something to consider here on this sale. But we are looking strong. We have 1 minute left. 1 minute left here. Let's see if those bids come in finally, folks. Otherwise, the bidding will close here today. We do have a confirmed sale. We are signing purchase agreements with buyer and seller here today. Don't wait to the last second here, folks. Coming down to the final seconds here. 20 seconds remaining. $52 bids in on behalf of the Weiss family. Andy Weiss, the personal representative. Folks, we appreciate your diligence here today as we come down to a raise in the bid of $515,000. Once again, we are at the stage of the auction where there is a $5,000 increment, on the bids here today. So the next bid would have to be $520,000. As you've been following along, folks, we're locked in a competitive environment here where two bidders are competing for the opportunity to buy this farm here today. 54 tillable acres on Vienna Road, just off of Highway 66, in an area that is very desirable and will only continue to appreciate in value with a proven return. We just went to $525,000. $10,000 raise. $10,000 raise. Once again, there'll be $5,000 increments continuing here today as we close out the auction. You can send us a private message. If you've got questions, folks, you can also call the office if we can be of any assistance. The bidding application clearly looks like it's working here for you today as you're bidding from wherever you're at. Maybe you're in the shop, maybe you're at work, maybe you're watching along intently, following along on the live stream. We appreciate you being here on behalf of the owners. We're at 54 bids in, coming up on 45 minutes into closing out this auction. Once again, no different than what we would do at our live auction. Everybody can bid from their own convenience, however, here and make those decisions. As more buyers and sellers are requesting this, we appreciate the opportunity to bring it to you this way today as you make decisions to buy this property. Let's see if another bid comes in. We're at the 3 minutes mark here, 3 minutes remaining on this particular clock. A little over $9,400 per acre on the board. Three minutes remaining. Once again, folks, it is a confirmed sale today, so you can bid without reservation. We will just need to send this to the Posey courts for their approval, but it's already met their requirements. We will be moving forward to a closing. Andy Weiss, the personal representative, will be signing purchase agreements, folks, and you own a new farm in Posey County if you are the high bidder today. Certainly no reason why you can't continue to bid on this farm. Don't feel bashful about that by any means. Still a good investment at these prices, especially given the current market, and a tenant already in place for up to 5 years, as we've announced, and will be part of the purchase agreement as well. $525,000 bid on the screen right now, coming up on the 2-minute mark. Maybe you're just joining us, folks, but there's we have 16 people registered for this auction all across the area, coming down to really just 2 on the entirety, $525,000. We appreciate all your diligence today on behalf of the owners, all your bidding cooperation. Once again, it's been a privilege to offer this farm and to talk to you about the Weiss farm here today, and why it's a good investment opportunity for you. At $525,000, we're coming up on 1 minute now. 1 minute remaining on this particular clock. Bid came in at $535,000. $535,000. Still one bidder. Controlling the board, refresh the clock to 5 minutes. We'll see if that other bidder is want to bid quick today, or they want to take their time and think about the decision here. You can't hardly go wrong. $9,500 on the screen, $535,000 bid. Coming up on 4 minutes here next, and on this particular clock, folks, good opportunity here today, as we can't say it enough, on a corner, just off of major roads. 55 bids in at this point, 2 bidders kind of competing for the opportunity to buy this farm here today at $535,000 bid. $535,000 bid, that's over $9,500 per acre on the board. We'll see who's going to make that next move and how quickly they're going to do it. $5,000 increments at this stage in the auction, folks. We appreciate your diligence on that. It was a $10,000 raise over the last bid. Once again, folks, we'll see how this next bid comes in at $535,000. One bidder controlling all 55.75 acres here today. Makes sense to keep it together, folks. It's been together for a long time. A good farm here in Posey County, $550,000. That's a $15,000 raise over the last bid. $550,000 bid now on the entirety. Coming up on 50 minutes here into the closing of this auction, 56 bids. That's a little over a bid a minute. As we've closed out the auction, we're at 550,000. That's almost to $10,000 per acre on the board. As you've seen, what farms are selling for in this market, especially in this immediate area of this farm that we're offering today, the Weiss Farm, folks. Still, certainly room for why this is showing its colors today, and why it's worth the investment at $550,000. We're coming up on the 3.5 minute mark. Everybody's waiting anxiously to see if that next bid comes in. We're at $550,000. Continuing with the 5-minute clock, folks, to give you every opportunity to make your decisions here today. Just a little under the 3-minute mark now. It's kind of come down to two, as you can clearly see from the bid history. Backup bidders, we appreciate you being there as well. 550,000, one bidder controlling the board as we hit that, coming up on 2.5 minutes here remaining. Beautiful tract of land, right on Vienna Road, one of the prettiest areas, I think, in my personal opinion, of Posey County. And solid surface roads, 1.5 miles north of Highway 66, 12 miles from Evansville. I keep saying those points over and over again, I realize. But that's why this is a good investment that you're making here today, folks. Don't hold back. We're under 2 minutes now remaining. 2 minutes remaining, 550,000. Watching that countdown clock, as you are, folks. We're at 1.5 minutes on this particular clock. 550,000 still, one bidder. Backup bidder, don't wait too long. Coming up on the 1-minute mark. Once again, folks, on behalf of the Weiss family, appreciate the opportunity, the privilege to offer this farm here today. One bidder is controlling it, 56 bids in. We're at 550,000, coming up on 30 seconds. Watching to see if that final bid comes in. That next bid comes in, folks. Coming on the 20-second mark now. 550,000. 555. Another bid came in, thank you. It refreshes our clock to 5 minutes once again. I'm going to take a short recess once again on the live stream, allow you to refresh, make your decisions to bid again. We're at 555, one bidder controlling the board. We'll be right back with you here momentarily. We appreciate you joining us once again, folks. We're 1 hour exactly into the auction. 58 bids. That's just about a bid a minute. The two bidders, we appreciate your diligence on behalf of the ownership here today and the Weiss family. Andy Weiss, the personal representative, who's joining us here in the office here today. We will be signing purchase agreements as we've announced. Bid without reservation. We're coming up on 30 seconds remaining here, and a good quality buying opportunity. As you can clearly see, we're up over $10,000 per acre on the farm here today at $560,000. One bidder controlling all 55.75 acres we're offering here today. We appreciate what you've done on behalf of the owners. We will be signing purchase agreements here if there's no additional bid. Coming up on less than 10 seconds. Thank you again on behalf of the Weiss family, folks. We're coming up on, there it is, 565. $565,000. $565,000, folks, a little over $10,000 per acre on the board. Two bidders really competing for the opportunity to buy this farm here today. $570,000. Thank you for that bid. Thank you for that bid, folks. Once again, we appreciate your diligence here today on behalf of the owners. Farm is going to sell here today, $570,000. Take this opportunity to talk to you a little bit real quick about our monthly market coming up this Saturday. If you're looking for some quality tools, we have some outstanding antique furnishings. Our monthly markets are a lot of fun, food trucks and all kinds of fun stuff to buy, some really quality lumber. Spend the day in New Harmony, especially if it's not as good weather. We're inside, climate controlled, fun day out. If you're looking for something to do on Saturday starting at 9 a.m., we'll go all day long. Once again, you can log onto our site as well and see the auctions that we have coming up. Working on several opportunities here that we think you'll be interested in the coming months. $570,000. We'll see if that next bid comes in here in this next clock that we have, not the final clock, the next clock. 3 minutes remaining here on this next clock. Two bidders competing strongly today on this farm for the opportunity to buy this 55.75 acres. Been in the Weiss family for a long time, and we will be selling it here today. Location, of course, is proving for why this investment is a good one here today, folks, on Vienna Road, just a mile and a half off of Highway 66. A good quality farm with opportunity for improving the productivity on this tract for sure. Comes with a lease already in place as well, and just a good buying opportunity here today, and that's clearly reflected in the current bidding at $570,000. We're under the 2-minute mark now. We'll wait to see if this bidder gets that bid in before those final seconds. Coming up on a minute and a half now, folks. Don't wait till that last second to get that bid in. 570,000. Two bidders competing strongly today. We appreciate your diligence. We want to give you every opportunity to make those decisions. That's why we put it on a 5-minute clock and continue to refresh that. We'll be under 1 minute here shortly. Glued to the TVs, glued to your devices, watching this auction close, folks. We're at a little over an hour, under 1 minute remaining now on this clock. Under 30 seconds, here we are. Thanks for joining us and watching along here today. On behalf of the owners, once again, folks, we're at 570,000. 570,000, a little over $10,200 on the board. A good quality farm here, the Weiss Farm in Posey County on Vienna Road. We're coming down to those final seconds again. We'll see if that bid comes in before that final clock ticks off. 570,000. Is there going to be a bid coming in? 3, 2, 1. Folks, we've sold the farm here today. On behalf of the Weiss family, thank you for joining us in here today. We're selling this quality 55.75 acres, 570,000 plus the buyer's premium puts us up over 600,000, of course, for this opportunity here today. And we appreciate your diligence on behalf of the ownerships. We will be signing purchase agreements and moving forward on the closing of this tract. And be sure to log on to wilsonauctions.com. Check in on our upcoming opportunities as well. Let us know if you're looking for something in particular. We'd be glad to talk to you more about our involvement in land spaces. On behalf of our team here today, Hobart, Ben, Judy, and Liz, we're going